I 37M have a biological child who I've never seen. 17F wanting to make contact which I don't want but my family does. What should I do here? When I was 19, I was RPED by an older colleague. 34F after a works night out and she got pregnant. It didn't go anywhere legally as it was my word against hers and she had the kid. Sadly, as there's no proof it wasn't consensual, I had to pay child maintenance until it was 16. Obviously, as it was a product of what happened to me, I wanted nothing to do with it. Told her to raise her RPE baby herself. The woman dead not sorry about it a couple of years back and I've not heard anything about the kid since, so I had no idea what was going on other than my maintenance stopping. Which was a relief because I finally felt like a millstone had been lifted from around my neck. Because of what happened, I never have been in relationships because of the issues it's caused me and I haven't got any kids or anything like that, so I feel like I can start living a bit. Brought down to earth a bit last month when my mum said the kid got in touch with her on social media and asked about me, my family, and told them she was living with her grandparents herself after her mum died until they both died themselves, so she's not got anyone now. Now my mum is one of these people with a massive soft spot for kids, young people, so feel sorry for her. I told her I don't feel comfortable with her being in touch with us and I want nothing to do with her, so keep her away from me. She seemed upset but I thought she accepted it. I will say throughout it all since then, my parents have been an absolute rock. They were some of the only people to support me and I couldn't have done it without them. So I was talking to my mum at the weekend and she admitted to me that she's not only kept in touch with the kid, but she had met them the week before and they didn't tell me. Basically they feel really bad for her because of the life she's had and are starting to enjoy her being in their life. Not only that, she's been asking about me and what happened and wants to meet me to talk and ask me questions. Obviously, I'm upset about it. I not only had to go for going against my wishes, but for betraying my trust like that. She said it's hard for her and my dad because of the way I've been, never had any kids or anything, they have always been sad that they'll never have a grandchild and this may be their only chance. She also told me she thinks I'm being out of order taking it out on an innocent child who didn't ask for this and could at least meet her to talk. I've said no and not spoken since, which is hard because I normally ring my folks twice a day and my mum keeps on trying to ring me. I don't know what to do. Reddit. I obviously don't want to be cruel but that kid is a reminder of what happened to me and I am just angry she's coming back into my life now when I thought it could be over. And how could my parents do this to me when they know how I feel? As it stands I have no desire to meet her, and don't see the good that could come from it. But I don't want to lose my parents either. What should I do? Edit. So I spoke to my mum today. She's still insistent on having a relationship with her. I said she can, but tell her I do not want to meet her at all and won't do it all. Would you believe my folks are actually intending on her coming over and having Christmas dinner with us? I basically said if they do that, I'm not going. Important edit. I get people disagreeing with my parents' actions but do not be disrespectful of them or call them name please. Despite this, they're wonderful people and we're the only people who have ever had my back throughout. Thank you. Edit. I am male. Can you please stop assuming I was a woman? Just because I was RPED. Update 1. So much went on since my last post. I spoke to my parents. I basically laid out exactly why I didn't want contact with her. I explained it's not a personal thing, but rather she is to me the living embodiment of my RPST and that if I were to have contact I feel it would make me relive it all over again. I reassured them they can have contact with her and I won't stop it but to stop trying to force me. They obviously agree with me and said they'll respect my wishes. With regards to Christmas, as it stands she'll go for Christmas Day and I won't and I'll go for Boxing Day. My parents are upset because it means I'll be completely on my own Christmas Day. I also wrote her a letter and gave it to them. I wasn't mean or anything to her but I explained exactly why I didn't want contact and how being in touch with her would make me feel and that until I get better, I didn't want contact and asked her to respect that. My folks gave it to her and she read it while she was at their house. My mum told me she broke down crying and was really upset, obviously had no idea what happened. She asked them if they'd let her have some paper and write me a letter back and she did, they gave it to me. Initially I went mad that they did give it to me because I felt like they didn't respect what I'd said but they begged me to read it so I did. And God, I'm now confused. The letter was sweet for want of a better word. She admitted in it that she had no idea and apologized to me. And that hurt that she felt like she had to apologize. She also said she'd respect my wishes but gave her contact details and said if I ever wanted to speak to her, she'd be there for me. She also slipped a little passport photo of her in it, which is the first time I've ever seen her and what she looks like. It's weird because before this, she was just a thing. I could ignore her, but reading that she became real. She has a little girl's handwriting. I felt like I could feel her pain in the letter. And seeing her photo, she's a kid. Doesn't look like me, but really looks like my dad but with her mom's hair and eye color. But she does look sad in it. I didn't say anything to my parents about it. But I'm now really FKing confused. I know I shouldn't have contact with her, and still don't want it for all the reasons I've said before. It's not good for me and also I don't think for her. But I realize I don't HTE her or am angry at her at all. I don't want her to feel guilty about her horrible mother. And now I see she's a person, God, it's FKD up. I don't know what's going to happen. Edit. So I just sent my mum a message asking her to say to her that I read her letter and that I don't want her to feel that she has to apologize because she's done nothing wrong. She's replied back saying she will. I think she deserves to know that at least. Update 2. So basically I've decided to go to my parents' house at Christmas, when she's going to be there, and meet her. I honestly just decided it today. I've been talking to my mum about it all weekend and the past few days, and the more we talk openly it has made everything seem a bit more clear. I have worked out that despite the history attached and no matter our biology, she's just a little girl. So today, I was talking to my mum on my lunch break and we were discussing Christmas and how we do it logistically as at this point, I was only going Boxing Day. When my mum mentioned Christmas dinner and playing me one up to warm up and eat at home, I just realized what's the point of avoiding everyone and sitting at home getting PSED and playing my PC with only my fish for company. So I went something like, yeah FK it, get enough for me and I'm coming Christmas Day too. She thought I was joking. When she realized I wasn't, I could tell in the tone of voice she was thrilled. She asked me if I realized the kid's still going and I said I do. She asked me how I feel. I said honestly I don't want to think about all that, I just want to go Christmas Day and spend it with my family. And if a young girl's there, I'll just be polite and respectful and treat her how I would any lonely young woman on Christmas Day. I asked her to let her know, and text her and see if she's also okay with that. She did, and in the short space of time on my call she got back to my mum really happy, saying of course it is and can't believe it. So that's it, I'm going. My mum texted me earlier saying she's mum, so happy I'm coming and doesn't have to worry about me being on my own anymore. I sat there this afternoon feeling a bit relieved. And I'm also absolutely BLDY terrified but not in a bad way. More of a facing something uncertain way. MINTS. A week ago I posted and was acting like I would rather cut contact with everyone. Now I don't really know what I feel. I'm thinking of writing her another letter too. Nothing serious, just a bit about me to introduce myself and maybe ask her for one back. Would that be a nice thing to do? Too much. I mean obviously I might panic and cancel last minute knowing how FLKY I can be but I hope not. Edit. Thanks to the great suggestion of you, Ms_B_ have I've set up a new email address solely for the purpose of her and I to communicate so it saves us both having to write letters and wait. My mum's got her email for me so I'm in the process of drafting an email. FKing hell, I've spent hours in the past week communicating with strangers all over the world on Reddit but do you think I know what to say in an email to a teenage girl living not too far away from me? I'm absolutely blank. Update 3. Edit. Thank you for everyone saying encouraging things. As someone who hasn't liked myself for so long or has felt like they're an overgrown child for all their life, it means so much to hear something nice. Thank you. So sorry folks, editing my post I accidentally deleted it. But me and my daughter have been corresponding through email this last few days a lot, it feels like hundreds of emails and getting to know each other. Even though it's been word, I have really enjoyed it, she's a lovely kid and I genuinely like her. So this afternoon we were chatting and I signed off my email, love dad, without thinking. And she messaged me back, dad, you mean it? And I was like, I suppose I do. I haven't heard from her since because she's working today but I keep on thinking about it. In fact she texted me a couple of minutes ago with a smiling emoji and a love heart. I responded the same, I was so scared to embrace her. To me, a couple of weeks ago she was just my armpit's baby. Now, I acknowledged she's mine. Like I'm her dad, she's my daughter. I wouldn't say love is the right word but, she's mine. If someone asked me if I had a kid, I'd say I do. I don't know how I feel about it on an emotional level. I don't have this warm paternal feeling like I think people probably do but at the same time, I know she's mine. Even though we've never met. But at the same time, I feel I want to meet her before Christmas. I don't know if I can wait. Even if we have a video message. I'm going to video call her tomorrow, FK me, I'm really nervous. I don't think a lot of people have been in my situation ever. But is this natural? Am I doing it right? Should I do anything different? What does a dad actually do? I feel like crying yet smiling at the same time.